Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon for the month of April tarot oracle reading. And Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aquarius, we all have a little bit of Aquarius in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in? That's where this energy will show up for you. Excuse me. This is a timely reading, so that means that if you're watching this video at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is... after the dark night of a soul, when something happens to you and you're just really having a challenging time with it, the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain, climbs a mountain, and when he's up there, he has his lantern, and when that lantern fills with the light of the North Star, he confers with God, and as it fills, when it's full of the knowledge that he needs, his rod lights up and he knows it's time to go back down the mountain and apply what he learned. And this is the underlying energy for the entire reading. Now for the underlying energy for the internal forces, we have the Chariot. And so the Chariot, it is like a vehicle that's taking you straight to your destiny. The Chariot means that you are following your North Star and you're on your path, so good job. That didn't take long. And so this energy is talking about, like, when you get on the Chariot, it means it's already happening in the spiritual realm, so it will be showing up in the physical soon, and you know, you're on your way. This is like a tank. It's just tung, 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 tung. It's just going to take you all the way through. Out of my way, I'm on my destined path. This is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is representing justice. So the Hierophant is traditional structure from the spiritual realm down to the physical to bring justice into being. He has his right hand in the form of a blessing, so that when the justice comes in, if you've been on your destined path, it will be a blessing for you. This can represent, if you're a religious person, it could represent, you know, the people at the top in your church, in your religion, popes, bishops, cardinals, gurus, whatever your religion is, the top of the religion. And then if you're more on the spiritual side, it could represent, you know, God himself going straight to the source without an intermediary. And that is through meditation and prayer. And then that energy is brought down into the physical realm, into the actual courts and, you know, law and order on planet Earth. All right, so we have that happening, and then we have, okay, now this is a card of heartache, apology, and forgiveness. So this energy is talking, clearly there's a sadness here because there's 3 swords in someone's heart. Now this energy, when you look at it the second time, you'll notice, oh, the heart is quite big compared to the swords. So it's saying like they're more like pinpricks or nails, bad enough, but possibly could survive this. And the heart is in their throat, which would imply that perhaps they're too afraid to speak their truth or are having difficulty speaking their truth. This could represent an energy of harsh words being spoken, it could be like a third-party involvement where there's a couple and a third sword is driven in between them there. And what else do we have? It could also represent an energy. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is the swords are, you know, representing your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind, your thoughts. And your thoughts are basically expressed through words. So yeah, it could be harsh words, and it could also be gossip and slander. That's what I forgot. All right, and then we have the Strength card coming out. So this is saying that this young woman is reaching into this adult male lion's mouth, which would be a very dangerous thing to do indeed. Having said that, she has been doing this on a regular basis because she's determined to face her fears. And so the lion is representing the fears, and he has his tail tucked under. He's being submissive because he can see that she's absolutely determined to do this until she reaches her infinite potential. She wants to clear her fears, and sometimes those fears can be all the way back to when she was a child. We have the World card coming in. So the World is saying that it's card number 21 of the major arcana, and the Fool goes on his journey starting at the 0 point. And when this card shows up, it means, okay, this cycle is now over. So whatever you needed to learn from this cycle, you have learned what you need. Now possibly what will happen is maybe some sort of justice is coming in. This is talking about the end of the cycle and the beginning of something new coming in, because the justice comes in. So this is now the Hierophant applying the justice. The justice is represented by this figure with a sword of justice, and she's wielding that sword in her right hand. It's a double-edged sword. So, you know, for some people, when the justice comes through, it'll be a blessing, and for us, well, it's always a blessing, really, justice. Because the truth sets you free even if you're on the wrong side of it. So even if you're on the wrong side of justice, it still sets you free from whatever you were doing, but you may have to pay for it, basically. And so this is talking about she's got her right foot forward. She's ready to make a move forward as soon as she gets notice from the Hierophant. Okay, it's time. And this can also represent redemption from karma. Now, a lot of people feel karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect. And so, yeah, depending on what your actions are, it could feel like punishment. But it's the way the universe puts things back into order. And you could have direct karma because, oh, I did something, I took an action, and I did that, and I caused karma for myself. Indirect karma would be from your ancestors. Sometimes they have not cleared up their shift before they leave the earth, or leave the, you know, they cross the veil, and then the bloodline has to clean that up for them. So we can incur debt from our ancestors and our descendants, actually, also from people we associate with. And then there's also the karmic spaces, which everyone can fall into. They're commonly fallen into, you know, because we're human and we make mistakes. And we have the Four of Pentacles. So Pentacles in the tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness on the third dimensional world. A big part of that, of course, is money. So the Pentacles are represented by coins. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So the Pentacles are about lifestyle more than just money or making money. Although this card in particular is about the 3 levels of making money. One is that you're making enough money, you have a strong foundation, and you're making enough money to pay all your bills and all of that. So that's really good, but you don't have a whole lot left over for extra. And then we can go to your heart's desires, and then after that, your crown and glory. So this card sometimes can represent that don't play small. Like if there's an opportunity coming up and you can't afford to invest in yourself, the best investment you will ever make is in yourself. So whether that be to educate yourself, or if you have a project that you think could be beneficial, and that would help you move up into the next level. And so this card's, it's sometimes is saying don't play small. You know, we do need to take calculated risks to move into the next level, and I do emphasize calculated. So when it comes to finances, you want to do your research and really make sure that, you know, it's as solid as you can make it. And she does have, this small figure has their back to the city. And so that says you're going to have to probably leave your comfort zone. And this is also saying, you know, it would be very rare to be a hero in your own hometown. So perhaps it's just not enough, you know, for whatever it is that you are selling or, you know, doing. There's not enough people where you're at to be able to be as lucrative. And so it's talking about, moving out of your comfort zone, and sometimes literally moving and changing location so that you can have opportunities. Okay, and this is this is about the internal forces. So the internal forces come from inside of you. You have control over the internal forces. The internal forces are the what ifs. So IF. It's when you're asking, if they do that, what if I have to do this? If I do this, what if they do that? That kind of energy. So it can get you caught up in that loop, the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. This is talking about your identity and your self-image. So you see yourself as a fair person and as a responsible person. And we have here an abundance is your abundance. So you're feeling, this could represent a situation in love, or it just could represent in general just feeling misunderstood, or someone has done something and you're upset about it. There could be gossip and slander, that kind of energy. It could be gossip and slander about a third party involvement that your partner had or you had, or something like that. And then we have communication from early life. Yeah, so this is saying sometimes in our early life, that's, we have things happen to us and it really stays with us for a long time, and it might shape the way we do, the way we approach life. And so this is saying, like, being able to dig deep and go after that and clean that energy up so that you're able to operate at 100% infinite potential. And then we have the home and family, and this is your emotional foundation. And justice. So this is creativity, romance, and children. Justice is, talking about maybe that energy I was picking up earlier, that maybe your ancestors in your bloodline, that there's something going on there. This is the veil behind her is representing between the spiritual realm and the physical, or it could be some sort of justice coming in from something that happened in your love life, or because there's a blessing coming in. It could just be about pentacles as well, because we have this card here. Whatever this is talking about your health, your daily routine, and your habits. And so those might be changing if you decide to move into a new way of being, or actually move location. This is talking about, the Six of Swords is talking about going off to calmer waters with God to maybe heal this energy so that you can step into this potential here. Maybe there's an opportunity coming in and you want to take advantage of it, but you recognize there's a fear or something holding you back, and so you want to look into that and clear it up. And so this is talking about the rough waters here and wanting to go to smoother waters with God. Now the conveyor has to push, take this deep pole and really push deep into the mud here to get the boat moving. And we can see, like, there's still overthinking happening here. Now these two swords here with the adult and child may represent, like, you'll notice there's no baggage at all. And so this may represent you wanting to heal your inner child and asking for God's help to do so. All right, and this is representing your external forces. So your external forces are more like, you'll be asking what the EF happened instead of what if, it'll be what the F. And that's because external forces come in and you don't really have any control over them, but you do have control over whether or not you're going to react or respond to the energy coming in. And right now we have the new moon coming in tomorrow, actually. And it is moving from Pisces into the sign of Aries. And this is the Aries energy. Aries is the infant of the zodiac. And it's talking about a lot of new energy coming in and needing to do things not in the same old way that you've always done. Like something may have always been working for you, but now it's not. Or, your relationship was going fine, but now it's not. And it's just this, there's about 6 planets moved into the sign of Aries over the last while. Like at the end of February and the beginning of March, we had Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, I think, did also Mercury and Venus, which is about love. And so a lot of this energy went from, when it moved into Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is it's a more aggressive planet, and the energy is very assertive, and sometimes can get aggressive, but that's not a great idea. So this, and now what's happening with all that, there's 6 planets that have moved into the sign of Aries just in the last while. And planets that are really, really big, like Neptune and Saturn. Neptune has a 14-year cycle, so for 14 years it was in the sign of Pisces. And that Piscean energy is like like the senior executive. It's the very last sign of the zodiac, and it's about a lot more dreamy, and it's a water sign. It's emotional, whereas the Aries energy is fire, and it's like a brand new baby, and the glyph is a ram. And with the ram horns, and so it can be rammy energy wanting to get your way. That when you think about a baby coming through, a baby comes head first, and it's that kind of energy. So the energy is way more assertive now, and like whatever, for 14 years, what Neptune is how we approach business, how we approach relationships with people. Including our love life. And so what was working for 14 years is now not. Now we have to learn, just like a newborn baby has to learn, like you think about what all a baby learns in the first year. So we've got all that heavy energy like right in Aries energy. And now the moon has decided to move in there too. It's getting crowded in Aries. And this is only likely to happen about once every 800 years or something, that one astrologer said. So it's not a common occurrence. And it's quite a lot of energy to deal with. So a lot of people are feeling this push for new. Plus we had 2 eclipses, one on February 17th and another on the 3rd of March. And the eclipse energy is like, I've been describing it as potpourri bubbling away on the back burner of your stove. You don't really notice it, but it's there. And it's kind of like that energy. And about 6 months later, you could look back from when there was eclipse season a month ago and say, wow, like a lot has changed in my life, especially because of all this new Aries energy. So this is a really good time to start a new project or tweak an old project and bring it back up into action. And it also is, anything new and innovative. And it's a good time to be assertive, but not abrasive. And be your authentic self as much as you can be, because that's what's going to make you stand out, and the energy is really supportive of that right now. And something brand new, like if you got an aha moment, now like, oh my goodness, I have this great idea, I can't wait to get started on it, that kind of energy, this moon is really supportive of that. You may already be feeling it, because the moon generally will feel it for 3 days before and 3 days after. We have the Judgment card here. So this is talking about the judgment has now been called on the spiritual realm. Spiritual court was in session. The ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes. They're like excited. Yay, finally, this is going to get cleared up. They've been waiting for a long time. And so they're proud of you if you're clearing karma for them as well. And benefiting the entire bloodline. And that's why the descendants are also waving back and forth. So judgment is in your partner's commitments and spouse energy. So there could be some sort of energy around that. Judgment and fairness coming in. If you had like this card can mean like that there's a potentially heartbreaking decision that you have to make, because the swords do represent your mental intelligence and your discipline of your mind. So yeah, it could be something around that. we do have the King of Cups coming in. So that's interesting. The King of Cups is one of 4 kings in the minor arcana in the tarot. And he is the most emotionally available king. He has learned how to control his emotions. So he doesn't go flying off the handle. And usually, you know, his word is good. Like when he makes an offer, it's a solid offer. He's sitting out in the middle of all this chaotic water here. And so water like that in tarot represents like volatile emotions, ups and downs in your emotions, and possibly some chaos happening in your life, which could have represent the north or the dark night of the soul energy. So this energy is talking about, he's got his right foot forward, so he's ready, but to offer a cup of love. And generally that's a solid offer. But if he must, if he wants to give you a cup of love or offer you a cup of love, you might still be in this energy. So he knows, he can just, his spidey sense is saying, I better wait until they're ready. And sometimes this energy, the king of all the kings, if he is betrayed, he's the most likely to really hold a grudge and take it more, you know, be more challenged by that energy. We do have, oh, look at this, we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is, this is transition, and this is higher learning. The King of Swords is someone that would make their profession from using their thoughts, rather than their hands, that kind of energy. So this is a double-edged sword, which means that it is intellectual as well as your intuition. And this is someone that would use, you know, their words, you know, your thoughts are expressed as words, and those words are either written or verbal. And this would be someone that uses words to earn their living. So like a politician, this could even be a king, a president, a prime minister, someone high up in the government, someone that, you know, maybe in the Senate or the Congress or something like that. You know, a minister in the federal court. This also can represent judicial energy, judges, and the legal system. If this is a lawyer, this would be a lawyer that's a partner in a prestigious firm. The energy could also be a surgeon, and that's good, well-known surgeon that's very good at surgery. This could represent a best-selling author, possibly someone that is an influencer on, you know, social media. And yeah, it could be someone who's into research. Maybe he's even won the Nobel Peace Prize, that kind of energy. So this is saying the King of Swords knows that words have power, so that you know, actions do speak louder than words. So if you give your word and then you don't keep it, you know, your words are empty then. And also that actions do speak louder than words. Now we have the Three of Cups. So this Three of Cups energy, I mean, people are celebrating in this card, but I find that generally it's not necessarily the most pleasant energy, especially with this card out here, and with justice needing to be brought in that. This sometimes can represent that third-party energy, because the cups are about love, and quite often romantic love. You know, it could be anyone you love, but it quite often is romantic, and it can also be something you love to do or be. So there could be and there needs to be some justice coming in. These three they're toasting, but nobody's looking at each other, and they're looking at the cup. And so it's more like they're toasting an event or something that's happened. They don't even necessarily need to know each other that well, because they're just maybe had worked together, just met that afternoon. But they're toasting each other because something was accomplished. And In a lot of cultures, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, like in Europe, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they'll freak out on you because they got a superstition that you have 7 years bad luck in your romance, in your romantic love life, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye. I find when this card comes out, and the same in a reading, this quite often can represent gossip, slander, that perjury in court sometimes, because we do have the Hierophant, we have justice, we have judgment, we have the Chariot, which sometimes can represent the police coming in, and we do have lawyer energy here. So there is quite a lot of energy here, and when the Hierophant, when this justice comes in, this is going to be a blessing for you. So if this was the energy that caused this heartbreak here, they're celebrating too soon because you're the one who's going to win. And then we have the Hangman, and the Hangman's talking about having balance. So after finding out what to do, you might need to tune in here and there. The Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he hangs upside down so he can get a good view from all perspectives. And this is a totally different view than standing up straight. To be hanging upside down, you're really going to get a different viewpoint and a different perspective. It's so that they can have balance and know that they're making the right decision. And so that this is in your blessings. And I feel like that's what the Hierophant is doing, basically, is coming in to right or wrong, whether that be on the spiritual or the physical. And it could even, as I said, have something to do with your ancestors. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this represents your maternal line. Sometimes, mind you, when the King of Cups is there with the Queen of Cups, it could mean that he wants to marry you, basically. So that's the energy. The Queen of Cups is known to be very loving, and she's also the most maternal. She's the most likely to really enjoy, stay-at-home mom energy. She has this large cup, which she has a lid on it, and it's like a trophy on her lap. It's like, because she has such a large capacity to love, the lid on it means that she's a container for unconditional love. And so this could be that the king wants to ask, this could represent your energy. This also could represent something to do with justice in another way, which is, from the ancestors on your mother's side want justice for something. All right, so if you're ready to leave the reading here, please do give it a like and comment if you receive benefit from it. I would really appreciate it. It helps me build my channel, and I really do appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing. You're more than welcome, and I would be honored if you did so. For those of you who want further clarity, I'm going to use my Oracle Tales from the Vector. That's TAILS. And I started this back in 2007. In 2020, I completed the 64th painting. Yay! There were some very big dragon paintings from the future. They're quite detailed, so it took me a while to do them. There's about 30 really, 3 foot by 4 foot paintings. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And so I had a lot of fun doing it, and now I've had the cards when I used to teach seminars. I had the cards at my seminars, and also at psychic fairs, but I didn't have the full deck at that point, and now I do, and now I have time. I've made it a priority this year to work on my YouTube channel, and so I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot. I really enjoy connecting with all of you. And I'm learning a lot to put in the book. I do have a lot of written information, but you may have noticed in life that sometimes the energy is very different when you put it into, actual physical rather than just on paper. So here we go. We're going to, the cards that I'm using have numbers on them that represent the paintings in the order they are in the Oracle, and I will write down in the description box below the cards in the order they appear here. So if you want to take a look at the pictures for further clarity, you can. All right, so look at this. We have this reading starting off with the Chariot. It's saying, yep, confirming you're on your destined path. Woohoo! That was really quick. Like, I like to see that. That's really good. And then with this card too, I feel like it's kind of like this, you know, checking in now and again, right? And then again here. So there's a lot of using your intuition and checking in. So this is talking about the battle star. So the Manipura. So this is the solar plexus. And this is saying, like, take a deep breath, breathe. And you might say, Colette, I am breathing. That's ridiculous. I'd be dead if I didn't breathe. But this is talking about, you know, taking a deep breath in through your nose. When you breathe through your nose, it sends more oxygen to your brain. Oh man, all of a sudden I'm just yawning away here. This is a way of clearing. So there's something about this energy. Maybe you've been waiting a long time to move into this energy. You've maybe been stagnated for a while here. Or maybe this relationship lasted 7 years or something, and now you're in the, you know, moving out of it. You know, I feel like you definitely are ready for some sort of a change. We have the shooting star. And so this is about having a good attitude. And I would say you have a really good attitude. You can clearly have done a lot of work here. You've got, you know, you're on the Chariot. You've got the Strength card here. You're doing your best to forgive and heal from whatever happened. The Hangman. You've got Judgment coming in your favor. You know, so you've been working on yourself, so congratulations on that. We have the Libra energy. So Libra is actually when you're a mature adult and you're ready to get married or make a commitment or something of that nature, you know, like you understand what it really means, especially if you're starting a family. And so this is maybe if this relationship, maybe you were quite young when you got into this relationship and just not mature enough, and neither was your partner. Sometimes that can represent that. We have the Aquarius energy, so you're actually representing yourself here. So this is saying, yeah, that you identify with this energy, that maybe there was something that went on in your childhood. You may or may not be aware of it, but you kind of recognize that there's something going, you know, bothering you. And this is also talking about being in a more experimental mode because of that new energy in Aries. So if you have a good attitude and you decide, okay, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to take this old project and I'm going to add a new twist to it. And it's going to, I'm going to see how that works out, and maybe give it like 90 days and then check the results. And if it's been doing really well, then do more of that. And if it's not, then do another experiment. And then we have the World card. And this is saying one cycle has ended. So this energy is ending. And because you've done this healing energy, and you can anticipate having, like with this cycle coming to an end, the new cycle is coming in, and it's foolhardy, which means like you're following your destined path, definitely going to have justice on this. And so that's really cool. It's showing, yeah, it's what I said the first go around, it's confirming it, that you're on a foolhardy journey. And then we have the Emperor on the Justice. So the Emperor is about a high level of performance. And I just feel like the Emperor energy, when it comes in like that, it's a very high vibration energy, and someone who's, you know, like at the top of their game. And I feel like you have a lot of energy building here. And I really feel like there's something that maybe you're doing or you've started, and maybe you need to tweak it in some way, and it will give you a slightly different way of doing it, could make it like just go viral or something. We have the Pisces energy. So again, remember I was talking, this is the senior executive. It's about like the moon is moving from Pisces into the sign of Aries, and and also Neptune having that. See, Neptune is ruled, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. When these signs come in, I just want to point out, I'm not talking about an individual, I'm talking about the sign itself. What can we learn from it? You know, we all have a little bit of every sign in us, if not all of them, most of them. The need to be right is coming in the external forces. You might have someone that's making a mountain out of a molehill right now about something, and I feel like that's kind of energy I'm kind of feeling, like someone's making something a really big deal. And maybe it's something that did happen in your childhood, and you're going to learn about it. And that's, you know, once you have that healed, you'll be able to move forward. And yeah, and then we have the Hierophant. So this is, the judgment is sitting on your commitments, partnerships, and your spousal or marriage. And then we have the Hierophant over here as well. So I feel like this is saying there's judgment around that. And then I feel like it's also on the spiritual level as well as the physical. So there's some sort of justice coming in for your ancestors, I feel. And then we have the World. So this is the transition. That's awesome. So this is talking about this change is going to come about where when this this energy here from the lover energy, from your partner, when the justice comes in for that, that's going to shift you into this new love here. And then when that comes in, it's going to shift you into I feel this is more about business, maybe Pentacle energy. So this is dissension. It's with friends like these, who needs enemies. Yeah, I was picking up that kind of energy. Like if there was a third party, and maybe you may be finding out it was someone you know, or someone that you consider to be a friend, or someone that was in your inner circle. And you know, that's always really challenging, that kind of energy. It just feels like there's something kind of icky about it. And then we have manifester. So this is the Earth Star energy, being able to manifest from your sacral chakra, and be able to, you know, take a good look at everything from all angles, so that you gain a new perspective. And then we also have All-Star. And so this is use your third eye. Be insightful. So this is talking about making sure that you remember, if you want to get creative solutions, you need to use your logic and your intuition together. All right. So I do hope you've enjoyed this and received benefit from it. Please do give it a like and a comment if you have. And I'll be back with another reading for you. And that one will be for the end of the month. And I'll talk about Uranus moving into Gemini, because that's going to be another big event. There's going to be another pretty big shift from that energy. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Subscribe to the channel if you resonate with the energy. You're more than welcome, and I would be honored. Bye for now, Aquarius.